guys. Hello, all my Dimensioners out there, all my Rifters, all the freaks and geeks. Uh, Welcome back again to Dave's Dimension, the channel where chaos and insanity reign supreme, and of course, the channel where we talk about your tech toys and talk. And of course, we got Colin with me today, EC Collectin'.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, so guys, we had a Hasbro event today, if you can call it an event. This is going to be a little bit saucy. We got a lot to talk about with Hasbro. Not everything is fully revealed yet. And what I mean by that is during the stream, they name dropped things that would be dropping later on. Um, it's not yet 6 o'clock yet, so we're not going to really see that on the website as of yet. But we're going to go over what they did show us. There were some very awesome things and some things that were on the fence about. But let's actually start with the stream itself. And don't worry, I'm not going to be playing audio or video. We're just going to be kind of skipping ahead, showing stills. So the first thing they started off with, and this is not, I'm not knocking anyone, but they started off with a board game that they revealed a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, with Matthew Lillard. Great actor, director, producer, all-around funny guy, horror fanatic. Apparently he helped them design the setup for the game. It's cool and all, but I mean, honestly, is there really a big draw for board games? I mean, they've already tried to do a HasLab for a tabletop game, and it failed miserably. I mean, I like D&D, I like a lot of role-playing games, but I don't think that there's that big of a market, especially to take up time on a live stream for toy collectors, per se. Is there a market out there? Sure. How about doing a separate stream geared towards gamers itself? I didn't feel that this really fit anywhere. And I mean, you had the host paraphrasing highlights from that stream. It felt more like a highlight show, kind of, you know? But I mean, they call it Betrayal at House on the Hill. I mean, it's probably like, they say it's supposed to be, he kind of parodies some of the movies that he's done, like probably Scream, probably 13 Ghosts. They didn't say the movies, but I mean, when I think of horror, man, I think of Matthew Lillard, I think of Scream, I think of his role in 13 Ghosts. So,
Oh, he
I mean,
nailed it in Five Nights at Freddy's. He did amazing.
I haven't seen it. You saw it last night?
Oh yeah, he did an amazing job.
Oh, awesome! I have to watch it. I have
Don't
to go
don't
see it.
listen to any of the stupid movie reviewers. They're probably all people that know nothing about Five Nights at Freddy's. Probably went
Well,
into it thinking it was going
the
to be
only
some
reviews I heard
gory
was
horror
that
movie.
it was awesome, and one of my Facebook friends said that do not take your kids to go see this movie. Don't take the little kids, that is, because it is gory. I hear there's even a scene where a girl gets chomped in half, like right at the waist.
Yeah, they do it though, so it's not like your typical like super bloody gory stuff.
Okay.
It's not gory like that. It's really story driven. It's got a really deep, heavy story. Yeah, I love it. I loved it. I think it was a great intro to the franchise.
Awesome. Awesomeness. And of course, I mean, there's a whole slew of Five Nights at Freddy games.
Oh
And
yeah,
also, anyone out there who might be a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, friend of the channel, Britterbug Gaming, she does streams. Every morning she streams a different horror game, and she's been featuring a lot of the Five Nights at Freddy's. So if you guys are fans of Five Nights, you like to see someone screaming and shouting and freaking out when the different characters pop up, go look up Britterbug Gaming. Let's take a look at the chat here. We got William in the chat. William, I don't know. You might not want to hear some of what I have to say today. I got some saltiness coming through the pipeline. I mean, it was cool to see the archives here. Okay? Don't get me wrong. It was cool to see the archives here. Now, the real question is, a lot of people were wondering, why are they featuring certain things here? Could they be re-releasing stuff? There's a lot of real Ghostbusters stuff in the background here. We had a lot of GI Joe and Transformers bundled together. I mean, could these be Easter egg hints at the future? We don't know. I mean, a ton of us want those toys. I mean, she kept hinting throughout the stream. You know, like, hey, did you ever have this when you were a kid? Or hey, do you remember this? It was almost hinting that could they be continuing? Could they be doing more reissues down the line? Was this like a little breadcrumb for a later stream? Who knows? I personally would love to see some reissues of a lot of stuff. I mean, like right here in the front, we get some vintage Star Wars. What looks like a almost like a Tonka truck type toy here, and Mr. Potato Head. I mean, these were kind of like your obligatory throwbacks to your Christmases as a kid. But there's a lot of things that just like, I mean, come on, they have the firehouse up here, which I would love to have. They have this massive Stay Puft, which my wife would love to have. I mean, they just had a lot of awesomeness here, but really, they didn't feature anything. Like none of these classics had anything really to do with what they are unveiling today, which just doesn't make a lick of sense to me, not one bit. What do you
I'm
think,
wondering
Colin?
if that's just like a standard set they have now.
I mean, with their past setups, I mean, they did say also that I mean this part was recorded ahead of time. She started out. She explained that everything that we are seeing today was recorded ahead of time because basically a big number of them are over in London for this major Comic Con happening over in London right now. So literally, they phoned it in, guys. They literally friggin' phoned it in. They're like, hey, we're gonna record it here, and we're just gonna throw it out there. And speaking of throwing out there, um, yeah, the Hasbro people, they fracked up royally today, guys. What do I mean by that? Well, several stuff got leaked out hours ahead of time. Um, I knew what the HasLab was, and it is Ghostbusters. I knew what the HasLab was at around, I think it was 10 or 10:30 this morning. Uh, Hasbro itself accidentally uploaded the stream. It went live and then they pulled it away, but not before people were able to grab screen captures. People were able to grab screen captures, and I'll even show you some. Um, there was several Ghostbuster Facebook groups that were able to grab these screen captures. Like we had, just to show you guys right there, like it says, oh, two in a box, unveiling that it is a PKE in a trap. Um, these were screen captures that Facebook group had posted, so we could see the trap, the stand. So I saw this way ahead of time. Here we go. We got JJ in the chat. The archive was an add-on to represent their 100-year anniversary. Hello, gentlemen. Yeah, they did in fact speak with a former chairman and former CEO of Hasbro, who was the generation. He was like I think second or third generation. So that was cool for them to do, but I guess it's deep inside. I was kind of hoping like maybe are they going to reissue the Firehouse? Are they going to reissue maybe some of the Star Wars, the vintage collection, the three and three quarter sets? I know a lot of people out there who would hella love to have those. You know, I just think it's probably the kid in me wishing that the stuff I didn't have as a kid would get reissued so I could have it. You know, but I mean it's I get that, yes, they are celebrating the 100-year anniversary. They are also doing a charity thing where you can actually vote where, because they basically there's a foundation, which is the gentleman that they speak with. It's his foundation that like was it 400,000 is going to be donated to a charity, but there's four separate charities to choose from. I mean, my personal vote would be Toys for Tots because that's what I work here as a member of the Buffalo Ghostbusters. That's our main charity that we work year round for, raising money for is Toys for Tots. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Of course, Colin's saying hey to JJ. JJ, I hope you and your family are doing great on this awesome Friday. But yeah, I mean, she does a little speaking here, and then we move on to GI Joe, and this is something I've been waiting for. I was joking with someone like 3 months ago that I was saying I would love to have the GI Joe Jeeps brought back in some shape or form, even if it was 3 3/4, which I do not collect. I would still buy, and we got it. It's whoa 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 whoa. I don't want you to play. Gotta let the little commercial play here, so I can skip. There we go. So there we go. They gave us the Vamp, uh, the Jeep, and they retooled that Jeep so friggin' good. I mean, I'm definitely now, Colin. You know, I've said this thousands of times. I'm not someone who pre-orders. I'm not someone who pre-orders. I think I'm gonna have to pull the trigger on that. I mean,
And that's an exclusive, right?
uh, I I'm not sure. I want to say that this might be Target as well, like limited availability on Pulse, but it may be a Target item. But also that my problem is they have my Targets take forever to get stuff at times, you know. But I mean, I don't think this is something I can wait for. I don't think I'm gonna wait, 6 or 7 months for it to hit my Target. Oh no, JJ clarified it is a Hasbro exclusive. So later on, when it goes live, I'm probably jumping on this. I had I had two Jeeps as a kid because I had one uncle get me one and another one get me one at Christmas. They didn't know that the other had got one for me. So actually, I had two Jeeps, but no action figures. But I mean, just how it looks. I mean, they took the original design and they quantum leaped it. No pun intended. Let's see if I can get a good image
Oh yeah,
here.
I still
I,
have a old one.
oh, really? Wow. I mean,
Yeah, it's not in the best shape though.
well, 30
I mean, it
or
was played
so
with.
years, 30,
That
40
was
years.
that was played with.
I mean, we get a great look in, here we go, Clutch with Vamp. Multi-purpose vehicle. Now, in the original one, they did have the removable gas tanks, which is awesome. We got these twin guns with the ammo and the ammo boxes here. We have a clutch lever that actually moves. They fully decaled the front of the front, so you don't have to apply decals yourself. Um, you do have to put the wheels on and put the other parts on there, but there's actually shocks on it. So, like, if you're a photographer, if you're a toy photographer, there's just so much you can do with it. Uh, jump on it now, Dave. It will sell out. Well, uh, is it live right now?
Yeah, it just went live.
Okay, let's do a little refresh. Because it was 5 o'clock Eastern, they opened it up for Pulse members, or Premium Pulse, which I think I might still go in on, so I can save on the shipping. Because I definitely want to get this. Now, I'm trying to see. They don't show when it's going to be shipping out, though. That's the only thing that bugs me about Hasbro's website half the time. If it's something new, um, I don't see where, or what date it's going to be shipped out. Maybe JJ knows. He knows everything. Pre-order for premium members just passed, and the rest is at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. Eastern right now. Thank you, JJ. But yeah, I definitely want to get this. I mean, this brings back so many memories, and the fact that Hasbro is killing it with classified. I mean, take a look at the front of this. I mean, we have lights on the front, like the front bumper. We actually have a what do you call it, a winch with the with the hook and everything. You could drag other vehicles. They put these extra hooks here. He comes with he's got his basic military helmet, but then you get this new like full on battle with like a HUD system inside, and then you get this shark painting on either side of the helmet. I mean, the helmet itself looks sick. I mean, if they released that as like a cosplay item, people would buy that,
Yeah, that's dope.
no doubt. no doubt whatsoever. I mean, the retooling of it. I mean, I think this looks friggin' amazing. You got him with his shotgun. I mean, they did say that there are alternate lights that go on the top. He says, "Yeah, I like the price. I was expecting 150, but nope, 100. They did great. I think they did too.
Yep.
I mean,
I ordered two of them.
me personally, I was kind of hoping maybe be a little bit less, but hey, $100, and I think I'm probably gonna drop to $50 so I can do Premium Pulse. That way, I have it for the full year, and I can say I don't have to because isn't it like free shipping for Pulse members or Premium Pulse members?
I got
I
free.
think.
Well, I don't know. I ordered two of them and I got free shipping.
Okay. Well, I know on like the HasLab, they did not include shipping.
Nope. No.
That's dirty.
That was
That
like
is
eight.
dirty.
What? How much was shipping for you? I think it was like $18 for me.
Yeah, but I mean the fact that you're already, I mean for the HasLab, spoiler alert, $300 is the cost of it. But I mean, if you're spending $300 and you can't even waive shipping,
I know. That's such a crock of shit.
and well, the good news is people only have to wait until fall of 2024 is what I'm hearing. So a year.
That's cool.
A year for a HasLab, that's actually pretty good considering they aren't really large items either. That's the thing. So I think that plays a big role into it. But I mean, take a look at like some of the pictures. Like you can actually open up the hood, and they did say it's not easy, but you can actually take the engine out. So you can actually have it where clutch is actually working on the engine outside of the Jeep itself.
Wow.
I friggin' love that idea because I mean, if you get like let's say like the Halloween stores, like day after, day after Halloween, usually like Spirit has a bunch of sales on stuff. If you buy like some of their like cheap jewelry type stuff, you can just take the chains, rig it up so it's like it's being like you have the engine pulled out, hanging on chains outside. I mean, there's a lot of different stuff you can do here. I'm definitely getting this. I do have to blame JJ for that though because what was it last spring? Just before last spring, I said, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna go and get a few Joes. I opened up a few, and I was sold. I was hooked in, fished
I
in. You
love
know?
I love how it has a real winch on there.
Yeah. I mean that it's those little details that are just awesome.
Yep.
He's got he's got a red crescent wrench. I mean, just the details alone on here, they friggin' killed it. You get your money back with premium membership. If you order a lot through Hasbro Pulse, you save a lot on shipping. And as a member, you get first dibs an hour early. Yeah, exactly. Yes, yes, let the hate flow. Throw through you, Dave. Ha 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 ha. I mean, I mean, not for nothing. I mean, they do a killer job, and this is our, aside from the, forgot what it's called, the motorcycle with the sidecar Gatling gun. I have the Tiger Force one up there. Aside from that, and aside from like the Trouble Bubble, this is like their first like proper vehicle, I think, outside of HasLabs with the Sky Striker and everything else. And I mean, it's just Hasbro Pulse hates Canada. Everything plastic collectibles and reviews. I don't think they hate Canada. I think they're just greedy half the time. I pre-ordered two of the Vamp and maybe paint one to look like the Stinger. Nice. I was kind of hoping that they might have the doors, so that but I get that that was a Cobra thing and not really a GI Joe thing. The Ram cycle, yep, that was it. Yeah, I got the Tiger Force one for like 40 or $35 at Target. That was my first acquisition, and I loved it. I just thought the detail that they did with Duke and everything was amazing. I thought the execution. Right now, if you had to ask me, if I had to choose a brand that Hasbro is managing, if I had to say which one is winning, which one is my top one, if I had to choose only one brand to support moving forward, it would be GI Joe Classified, at least presently, because they're killing it. And who do we have here? Oh, we got William and Tim. We got some Ghostbusters in the chat here. Let me move you guys up. Nobody wants to see my mug. There you go. So how are you guys doing today?
Good.
Are you psyched?
Yeah.
So we're going to be getting to the HasLab very shortly, but this the vamp. I mean, just everything they have here. We got fire extinguishers. I mean, they threw everything in here. The windshield can fold down. That's just, I mean, it's those little things. Whoever they have on their team, they are killing it. And also, they have it, and they mentioned on the back of the vamp, there's a wench here, and it kind of hinted, well, you know, you can drag other vehicles, like maybe surface to air missile cart or something. So obviously, they're going to be having more stuff coming through.
You know what it reminds me of a lot? It reminds me of I don't know if you collected the McFarlane Halo figures, but when they did the Warthog,
No, but I know what you're talking about, though.
yeah, it reminds
Yeah.
me a lot of the Warthog.
Well, here's the question: does that remind you of the Warhog, or did they take inspiration from this for the
Or
Warhog?
yeah, you know what I'm saying.
You know. But yeah, I mean, take a look. We get the ammo boxes here with the. I mean, they killed it. And one of the best things is we don't have to worry about applying labels here. I love how the dash is all decked out. I mean, they friggin' killed it. They killed it, and I cannot wait to get one.
See, and
Uh,
this is what irritates me when they do, rushed like garbage stuff
yeah,
because they show you what they're capable of, and then they throw out all the other
but
garbage.
they gave us shocks on this thing too. I mean, they go the distance. Now, obviously, we're getting the Vamp. How long before we get the Cobra version? You know, I mean,
Oh yeah.
hypothetically, they could have showcased both of them at the same time, because all it is Repaint City. But they're probably going to wait, I'd say, 3 to maybe 5 months at most.
Yeah, they got me on this one. I ordered two of these.
And see, if I do not go for the HasLab, I might do the same kind of deal here. But I
Oh,
mean,
you got to get the HasLab.
well, we're going to talk about that.
All right.
Uh, I have the vintage one on my channel. Do you think they will start selling the other vehicles like the Rattler, Night Raven? I mean, we can only hope. We can only hope. Um, I personally think that there's still a market for the 3 3/4 scales. I almost picked one up at Ollie's of the His tank. They had one for like $14. I was tempted to pick it up, but I don't do 3 3/4 scales, so it would look it might stick out, you know. We got Duffman saying, "Hey Colin, hey Dave, and hey JJ."
Oh, what's
But
up, Duffman? Hey, I still have a pretty large size Predator here for you, Duffman.
you hear that, Duff?
Having a Duff man.
But I mean, this was awesome. I love seeing this. No more completely enclosed in cardboard. They're showcasing the figure right there. I
Yes,
love that.
learn not to do that anymore.
But just take a look at the art itself. I'm like, just seeing the box, I was like, okay, you didn't even have to pull it out yet. I was sold just on seeing the box. I
Right.
friggin' loved it.
It's killer. Yeah,
I loved it.
yeah.
You know, and of course they take a couple minutes talking. They show all we have to do is just apply the tires onto the chassis, putting guns on. You know, you skip ahead. I mean, let's see. I mean, we can see the whole dashboard is all done up. We got like computer readouts and everything. That was awesome. That was awesome right there. I'm like, okay, I mean, this.
I
Anyone
wish
who
McFarland would take some notes on their vehicles.
anyone who watches my channel knows I say this all the time, but I really mean this. This is a no-brainer. This is a straight up, no joke, no-brainer. Now, uh, William, do you collect GI Joes?
I used to back in the day. Not anymore. He won't.
Well, are
He
you
won't even
sure?
buy.
I mean, take a
He
look at
won't,
this here.
yeah, I know. No, that thing is awesome. He
Or wink wink pop pop fizz fizz. You know, if have you ever modded any toys before?
no.
I mean, you know, you could buy a couple extras of these. Maybe do one up that's maybe in white and red.
Oh,
Use it for
Storm.
Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
You could.
some decals here and there. You know, you can I still have to finish my Fortnite boat that I was supposed to do as a Ghostbuster paint up. I still have another Fortnite boat that I have to open up, and I'm tempted to do it GI Joe style.
You play Fortnite, Dave?
I do play Fortnite, but Ollie's discount stores had the Fortnite boats, like the little jet boats.
You know
They
what?
had them for about 14, I think 14 or $15 a while back.
I still need to get the bus.
I haven't seen the bus anywhere. I still see the arcade games though, the little small little arcade games
They have the bus at my Targets all the
and the
time. I just
glider. I
haven't.
mean, here we go. We were talking about the winch.
That's awesome.
That's
It
pretty.
is awesome.
So they got a winch on the front and the back, eh?
Well, we have whatchamacallit, I'm blanking right now. Uh, Not a winch on the back, but you have the hitch, so you can drag stuff.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this is those little things like the front hooks here, so we could drag, or this could be dragged by another vehicle. So, Colin, you got the two Jeeps. You can have one dragging the other behind or something. There's a lot of different stuff.
Heck yeah.
I mean, they did a good job with him. I
They
think he
can
looks
they can
phenomenal.
they can tow my party wagon if it ever breaks down.
That would be hilarious. You get the van towing the party wagon. The
Yeah,
turtles are
yeah.
like, hey,
If NECA ever decides to ship it.
3 years later. I mean, everything just looks fantastic. I don't care who you are. If you were a G.I. Joe fan, you weren't anymore. You are now. I mean, I love the paints, just everything they did here. Uh, Collecting Star Wars. Ollie's has a Fortnite arcade cabinets for only $1.50.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, they're dirt cheap right now. So I mean, if you're good with like what is it the Cricut printers, you could design your own decals and make it into any game you want. Perfect for your individual figures and stuff. I'm thinking about trying my hand at maybe making some. I don't know how well I'll do it, but I've seen a lot of people do some diorama stuff themselves, just so I have like a something for each of my shelves to add a little something to them. But I mean, this just looks phenomenal, man. I'm like, I mean, I got a stack of Joe stuff right here that I still need to unbox, but I mean, they friggin' killed it. This is a home run. And also, I mean, this is a bit of a love letter to the fans, to those of us who had this as a kid. And it goes to show, hey, we can do 6-inch figure vehicles. The Trouble Bubble is kind of a small thing. And what was that, like $65 when they had it out? So I mean, getting this for 100, like JJ said, he was expecting 150. We're getting this for 100. That's a home run. It's a love letter to the fans. It's like, hey, we can do this. All right, here's our sample. You guys love this? We're gonna give you more. That's what I think is going on here. I mean, it's all. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a nerd, but it's a work of art right there, man. And
This
that blows
probably
away
was
the
the highlight.
original. It blows away the original, man.
I see it's got the shovel there too.
Yep, you got the shovel, you got the axe, you get like everything's in there. You get
See,
like a fire extinguisher. You got the gas tanks on the back. It's got everything. We got
so
Collecting Star Wars saying hey to JJ. Uh, Duffman saying hey to Stevo. We got Rolando in the chat saying hello, the multiversal moderator. Thank you, Rolando, for popping through. I'm in the market for a new truck. Now I want a 1-to-1 scale van. Do it, man. Get like a Jeep chassis, and build it up. I'm sure you can. Make it happen, man.
Oh yeah.
We got everyone popping through here. Everyone's saying hello. We even got Nerd Affiliated. Yo.
I
Now,
wouldn't be surprised if someone already has a 1-to-1 scale of one of these.
I mean, if someone does, if they make it to match this perfectly, it's going to be the hit at all the cons, because they always have a few vehicles up there. Nerd Affiliated, did you back this? Let me know in the chat. I would love to know if you back this. I don't know if you collect Joes, but it's a friggin' no-brainer. And as I say, it's a friggin' no-brainer. My wife pulls up outside. I can buy toys. As long as I buy her stuff, I'm okay with buying my stuff. But man, just everyone's saying hey to Archer, JJ, Rolando, and Duff. Drive-in, but I'm here. No, but I backed the trap. Okay. And I knew he would, and actually that's respectfully that's his first time. Archer's first HasLab is the trap.
That'll
Uh,
be that's my first HasLab too.
my first HasLab, of course, was the pack. I mean,
Yeah,
but we
I
won't.
wish I would have
I
done
mean,
that.
we were supposed to wait 2 years for the pack. We got it
Mhm.
in a year and a half, which was great,
Yep.
with everything that it's capable of. Is it 100% perfect? No, but no HasLab is. But it was the first functional prop for a HasLab, and they killed it. Um, with the PKE and the trap, we're going to be talking about that very shortly. We both backed the trap. That's him. That's Archer, Hey Archer, and also Ramblin' Nerd Anthony. So they both backed it. Okay. Now, technically, Anthony Ramblin' Nerd he got a pack through someone that I know personally. So he didn't go through the traditional HasLab route, but um, I do have some criticisms that I'm going to bring up, and I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't. Uh, the trap is doing great, over 3,000 backs so far. Yes, the trap I think is at was it I want to say last I saw because Archer had posted like 22%. Some people are thinking it's going to be backed by 50% by the end of the night. It
Yeah,
could be even
I
it
would
could be
not.
even further.
Not.
I can't see there being a problem with this getting backed.
Well, I'll bring up a few statements later. Uh, so afterwards, we jumped over to Transformers. Uh, Transformers was not a favorite. I was not a fan of what they did with Transformers. Uh, we get this offering of these three like Terracons, if you will, that they transform into was it Magmatron?
Hmm.
Unless you follow the Japanese Transformers, that anime and that comic book, you're not going to know what this is. So it's a very niche market. It's a very niche angle that they took this in. And like Colin pointed out off camera, where's the blackwash on here? A little bit of blackwash can go a long way with their beast or their dinosaur modes. There is none of that. It just looks like solid plastic. Again, it looks like Transformers phoned it in. And guess what? This is the only thing that Transformers did. This is the only thing that their little segment did, was just Magmatron, who is a arch nemesis for Leo Convoy. Leo Convoy over in Japan, Optimus Prime was called Convoy, and they did a animal beast mode version of him where he was actually a lion, like Lion Prime, like a slight variation of Optimus. So Leo Convoy. I mean, if you're not part of that culture, you're not going to know it. So it just seems like, hey, look at this. We got these three dinosaurs. They're going to merge into this one big bad guy. I mean, that's going to be the only thing that's really going to drive people to buy it. It's probably going to wind up being on Ollie's shelves unless it's strictly a premium. It could be. Um, and also they're trying to sell their shirts. My big problem is because I'm a big guy. Even if you're not a heavy set guy, if you're a real tall person, the shirts that they sell, sure, they look cool and all, but they don't do sizes for big and tall people, which is a shame. I mean, don't get me wrong, the art looks fantastic on here, but unless you know it, you're not going to jump on it.
I
You
mean,
know,
I think even the dinosaurs themselves, they look
like
good. There's just no
was it
detail.
Silverbolt, like a new Silverbolt that they're going to have. They hardly spent any time on that. I mean, it just felt like a disappointment for the most part. Let's go back here. Renegade Biker. I think the Vamp is based on a Lamborghini model chassis design that the military rejected for the Humvee. Might have been. Yeah, need your opinion for sure. Well, I was talking with a few people offline, and uh, that is those people who are Ghostbuster cosplayers, who I talk to on a regular. We all have some reservations, but for the most part, everyone is going to jump on it. There are some things that we're going to bring up, but we think that as many people have backed it up right now, because they're excited for a Ghostbuster trap that actually works with a screen accurate pedal, and also you get a screen accurate looking PKE. But we'll get into more things in a little bit. But I mean, this was just a disappointment. And then our obligatory yearly crossover. Every year, Transformers has to do some kind of crossover that makes no sense whatsoever. And it's Stranger Things. They did Stranger Things here. So they took the Surfer Boy pizza van, and now he's a Transformer battling Stranger Things. Thoughts, Colin? Thoughts, William?
I mean, if you're
unless they're doing a limited comic book, I don't see this going anywhere.
right, and unless you're like a super fan of both of those things, like, I mean, I like Stranger for sure, but like, I'm not. I don't know. I mean, I'm not with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to talk crap about it because there's crossovers that I like, but like, if it's your thing, then yeah, go for it.
I bought the Back to the Future Transformer crossover. I just had to because I love everything everything Back to the Future. But they had a digital comic book to go with it too, and I really dug it, just like I did Ectotron.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I must have blew my nose when the mic was on. I apologize." I'm actually severely under the weather today, but I said I was going to do a stream. I'm doing a stream.
I mean, to be honest, it doesn't look horrible.
It doesn't look
cool.
horrible, but it's definitely niche.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for me.
I mean,
that's a good question. How much is the Stranger Things Transformer?
Let's take a look. He is $45.
Yeah, not bad.
It's not bad. It's not great. Also, I mean, the packaging. I think they did a lot with the packaging though, because the packaging is a pizza box.
I was gonna say if it's not a pizza box, they really dropped the ball on that one.
With grease stains on the inside.
Oh, taking some cues from NECA, hey?
Yeah, you know. And for those that don't know, this is what Colin's talking about. NECA did the Ninja Turtles 2 Kino with his moped, and this is how they packaged it in a pizza box. So they're definitely biting off that inspiration, and I don't blame them. I mean, if you're going to do a pizza delivery vehicle, I mean, he's got like axes on the back, so he has weapon storage on the inside. You know. I mean, here we go. Here's their pizza box right there.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That is cool.
And you can see they got the grease stains on the inside.
That's cool.
You know, we got like the jalapeno with pineapple. I'm sorry, pineapple does not belong on pizza. Fight me, I don't care.
I mean, if I was a Transformer collector, I would probably buy this, to be honest.
And there we go. Collected Star Wars says, how much is a Stranger Things Transformer? $11. Because 11.
Yeah.
Want. But I mean, if I see this on clearance, maybe I would, consent to it. Like here.
Is this something that's going to make it to stores, or is this an exclusive too?
I don't know. I'm unclear on this, to be perfectly honest.
It's just with the pizza box, it kind of throws me off.
Well, the pizza box right here, this part right here, those you get, it actually comes out and you can make the blinders like 11 wears.
Oh.
So they threw that in there. You got there's a little pizza box, and of course you got the flame effect, so you can actually heat up the pizza. But I mean, it's okay. I can see them doing retoolings of this for some other things. They might be able to do a slight different molding on the front, and they could do the terrorist van from Back to the Future 1.
Yep.
There's a lot of different things that you can do. I mean, it's Repaint City. You know it's going to happen. But they did make a point of mentioning that this was officially licensed through Volkswagen. So it is proper VW license on here. So that's cool.
That is cool.
So that was their offering. Silverbolt, the Magmatron, and the forgot what they're gonna call him. I think it was Red was a uh, Red Alert or something. They were gonna call him something like that. But I mean, that was it. And next year is the 40th anniversary of Transformers.
Wow, you think they'd have more going on then?
Yeah, here's this is what they're talking about. Each purchase on Hasbro Pulse will allow you to vote on how to distribute $1 million among these 4 charities: Toys for Tots, Games for Change, One Tree Planted, and also Pay Relief. I mean, my vote is always going to be Toys for Tots, personally, myself. But it's cool that they're doing something like this. Because this is Alan Hassenfeld, member of the Hasbro's founding family. He was also former CEO and chairman of Hasbro. Obviously, he's retired, but this is his foundation, and that's who's doing $1 million. So great that he's still involved in trying to make a difference out there. So I greatly appreciate that. Hats off to him. They do a little talking with him, and then we get Star Wars, if you can call it getting Star Wars. Honestly, Black Series has lost me. I've lost that love and feeling for Black Series personally.
I just saw more pre-orders go up for Black Series, and there was another Vader. It's like all the same, or another Mando. Like
just constantly Biker. I used to deliver for Domino's as a delivery driver, but to see that, I'm not sure what to think about that. JJ says, I messed up. I missed out on... Oh, Scarlet Spider sold out?
Oh, I grabbed one too. Thank God.
Oh. Well, I mean, I didn't get home until 5:15. I should have...
That went fast.
Yeah, I wanted... You have no idea. Scarlet Spider, that's one of my all-time favorite Spideys of all time. I'm going to hope that maybe... if someone comes across and maybe there's a trade that can be worked in the future. I mean, I saw that and I really wanted him, so we'll see. Maybe it'll restock at a later date.
We'll see what happens. Added him to my Vamp order. Thank God I did.
Yeah, Renegade also votes for Toys for Tots. Awesome. Thank you. I mean, we get
33.93% already.
Okay. We get this Andor, but he looks like a cartoon version of Andor. I'm trying to. I don't know if this was vintage.
Yeah, that looks. Oh, it's okay.
No, that's he's card back, but he's like full scale. So I just think
that's vintage terrible. Collection. That's vintage collection. Yeah, it says it right there.
Because he's got the twist up here at the legs.
I don't know. It's labeled vintage collection.
Okay. I mean, here we go. We get obviously Paz. I mean, I already have him, so I mean.
Well, there's only been like 15 releases of him so far.
Yeah. Rolando says 3 3/4 for the win. Yeah, I have him on my shelf. He's definitely one of my favorite figures. He's not the easiest to pose, but he's a great looking figure. And that's it. Like, that's... Oh, no, here we go. We got the 2-pack, which is already sold out. I mean, it looks cool and all. I mean, it's Repaint City again. Let's face it. We get the Mace Windu. Very cool looking. I mean, he looks great and all, but...
That'll be easy to get, though, Like...
Yeah. And, again, that's it. We get her, the host, talking about, some of the vintage toy sets and such. And she, throughout this stream, she does mention, hey, did you have this, or did you have that, or maybe you knew someone that did. That still makes me think that could they be bringing back some vintage stuff. Or at least that would be my hope. Here we go. They're hawking their shirts again. Mint on card, and another one was like a wrong costume, and it is what it is. I think this is a cool looking Spidey. for the concept that it is. It's from a comic book where Peter made some darker choices. I mean, obviously he's pinless. Looks friggin' fantastic here. Is this something I feel like spending $25 on? No, I'll probably wait and wait.
What do you think? That's Spidey?
Yeah.
Do you like it or pass?
Like it.
Now all we get is 2 extra hands on him. That's it. We don't get any web effects. We don't get him without, like his human head. We don't get any of that.
Not surprised.
And then we get the talk about the pumpkin figure, but this is the one that they actually released, where he's got like a hover disc, and it kind of has a Ghost Rider-esque type of fire effect on him.
I'll pick that up if I see it in store. Well, I know I'll see it, but.
And of course, they were also saying, "Hey, he looks great on our flight stands that we sell on our website." Yeah, okay. I'm not paying like $25 for one flight stand. No thanks.
Yeah, no thanks.
I can get some flight stands on Amazon relatively cheap, and they're pretty decent and reliable. Of course, talking about the card backs and the art, but this to me, the Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider, and in this costume, has always been a favorite of mine. I have a small statue of him on one of my Spider-Man shelf. I always loved the solid red, the all-white eyes with no black outline on him, and the torn sleeves off of the hoodie. I just always loved that look. And to me, he looked more, I don't know, I don't want to say DC, but he looked more Batman because he had, he had all of his web shooters and his extra tubes and all on his wrist. He had little pouches at his ankles. He had a utility belt. I mean, he looked, more, I don't know, like what you think a vigilante or a superhero would be. Ghostbusters and G.I. Joe definitely won the day collecting, Star Wars says.
I agree.
Everything else, nice try. What do you think? What do you think about what is going to be released tomorrow? I don't know. I think it was supposed to be Transformers and possibly G.I. Joes. No, Marvel I think is also announcing something. But that's at the London Con that we, none of us are going to be privy to. We'll probably find out Monday or Tuesday. Mr. B's in the chat. Hey, Mr. B, saying hey to Steve-O and hey to Rolando. But this, I will find some kind of way to get this.
I'm happy I pre-ordered them now. I didn't think we would sell out that fast.
Was that a limited run on the Scarlet?
Yeah, they are doing limited runs on the figures this year.
Dang.
To cut back and because they've seen a lot of their figures go on clearance, and a lot of the retailers. So that's something that they're doing. I just always love the look of this.
He is cool looking, man.
That's another reason why it's important to support your figure lines.
I mean, it looks fantastic here.
That packaging, man, for sure. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, that right there. And look, he's got one set of hands, obviously, but he gets 2 extra sets of hands on there. Great. That's what it should be. I'm gonna reach out to people. I'm gonna see if anyone ordered 2. Like, hey, do you feel like selling one, or hey, can we do a trade of some kind? Because this is definitely one I do have to get somehow, some way. Hopefully, the toy gods will smile upon me, and I will be able to score one at some point. We'll see. But okay, here's their little Ghostbuster intro, which personally, I mean, not to nitpick, that is not a 59 Miller Meteor Cadillac ambulance. That is the wrong vehicle right there. They must have had a hard time trying to find someone with an Ecto-1 in their area when they were filming. Of course, they revealed their HasLab reveal videotape. Nice to see they're still using VHS for their technology there. So they go on. Of course, we see the selfie series, hint, hint, subliminal message. And that's another thing. For Premium Pulse members, they're doing an additional 10% off on their selfie series. So they're really hard up because they already lowered the price on selfie series as it is.
They haven't even been like, they haven't advertised that or anything since it released.
Because so many people were annoyed because it looks like a ghost image being applied onto a blank canvas. So many people like myself tried the app and it looks nothing like me.
See, the 3 that I ordered all are great.
Yeah, well, it all depends on shape of your face and how your face looks. But I mean, take a look at this right here. Looking at this, this looks this. What's the right word I'm looking for?
Stubby.
Huh?
Stubby, like.
I mean, this looks one. It looks too clean.
Yeah, I think the meter kind of looks like Halloween costume-ish, but the trap looks great.
Well, I've heard people compare this to the blue PKE that came out, the kitty one.
Yeah.
That looks like they just took that and painted it.
Right.
He has.
I mean, not for nothing. I mean, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, these stands are really cheap and flimsy. So that's a concern right there. I love now. What we do know is it is going to have all the modes. You're going to have different settings. This is the trigger for the taser part, which is great. I love that they have that there. Let me see if I can go back. Trying to just squeeze it. So
yeah,
I mean, we got the
JJ,
trap
you
here.
lucked out.
Huh?
I said JJ lucked out. They have a retail JJ figure.
I don't need to do selfie series because they already did one of me. He's called Ezra JJ Bridger. But I mean, we get again. This is going to be that same kind of, not really a rubber, like a rubbery hard plastic. The stand I got with my HasLab, I'm not a fan of it. It falls apart all the time. I'm this close. I'm like this close to taking some super glue, or even like some 2-part epoxy to it. Because I'm going to be doing a paint job on my stand very soon. But I take it places, and it falls apart before I even put anything on it. It's not the strongest thing in the world. Here's some problems here, okay? One, the pedal looks, again, it looks like that. It looks plastic. It doesn't look like it's metal. That's one of the big things here. But I get looking at the HasLab pack. You know, the HasLab pack's paint is about 90 to 95% good. If it was a few tints darker, it would look like the Scream packs. It's like the difference between like white and eggshell on a wall, as far as paint colors. It's like just a hint difference, and I think that hint throws it off here. Absorption, NRADs, absorption. They're talking about the little controls at the back of the trap. Okay, so we got there. We have the light, the meter. We have the traps. What I love is the trap actually disengages from the frame itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you're a cosplayer and you're a Ghostbuster cosplayer, you want a trap to be able to do that. There are people who sell those kits probably between $200 to $250. So a $300 price point for this and a PKE, that makes sense, because you're going to be paying about $250 for the parts, and then your paint and all your other accessories and time, and that's not even counting getting the mechanism so that you can use a pedal with it. Okay, so in the long run, that does make sense. On the flip side, if you take this to events, or you're going to have this on display if you're doing charity events, or if you're just a casual cosplayer, if you're at a con, you're not really going to want to necessarily have the trap on you, because at cons you're always bumping into people. You're going to be afraid. You're going to have a fear in the back of your head of what if someone bangs into this, or what if some idiot pulls on it and they break it. It's not like you can go to a store and buy another one. Okay, So there are concerns here. The wire, the hose here, it is so damn thin, it's not even funny. Okay, if we look at a screen accurate trap, let me see if I can pull one up very quickly. Okay, I'm going to pull up one that is found on Etsy, just to show you guys. Look at how thick that loom is, that hose. Okay? Right? You guys see that right there?
Yeah.
That's pretty thick.
Okay, you see how thick that is? Look how thin that wire is. That's my big concern. Because let's go to let's just pull it up right here. Okay?
And it's
Look how thin that looks. It looks like someone took a thin version of a coax cable.
Yep.
If you have cable TV, and that's what they did. That looks nothing like the hose loom that we use on our traps. So I mean, there are subtle differences. I mean that just it looks very thin. Now they gave us extra tubes here because they even said you can take the red tubes off, put the silver ones on, because technically the traps we used in Ghostbusters 2 were silver. They did not have the different colored tubes. They also said that if you put the silver tubes on, you also get different ghost effects, which is cool. They're kind of using that technology with the Power Ranger morphers. We put a different coin in, you get a different set of sound effects. And the wheels, those wheels are freaking massive.
They are.
Okay, I have screen accurate wheels, and they're basically a set of ball bearings, like you would have in like a skateboard wheel or a roller skate wheel.
Yep.
Those kind of bearings. That's what's basically used on the actual screen accurate traps. They put some pretty big wheels on here that don't make any sense. So one person I was talking to even said it looks like they took rollerblade wheels and threw them on. You know, I mean, the controls here. Don't get me wrong. This looks great. The wings on the PK look perfect. Now this we're supposed to be able to slide or move, and it's going to switch the PK into different modes. I like the little bit of weathering on the pedal here. This is inspired. It's not screen accurate, but it's inspired, and they do a pretty good job with it. But my concern is this wire, how thin it looks. It looks thin. So here we get a closer look. There's a little bit of weathering here, but from what we looked earlier, now they also did say that the lens, the screen is going to be different, a different kind of coloring to it. You know, these products are just the prototypes that they're showing us right now. You know, a year from now, there could be many changes that happens. What are the silver tubes? Archer's asking. The silver tubes, those are the side tubes of the trap. Now, the silver ones were what we saw on the Ghostbusters traps in Ghostbusters 2. So you can take the blue rods off and put the silver tubes on. You'll get different effects. Now, it would be great if the trap with the red tube, with the red tubes on, if it gives us Ghostbusters 1 effects, and if the silver one gave us Ghostbusters 2 sound effects. But with how weathered it looks, it'd be great if we also get afterlife effects in here too. That would be great. Now the dial is supposed to be able to switch between different ghost effects as well.
Yep.
So I mean, it's cool that they're giving us a lot of different functions. There's a button, a hidden button in the handle, unlike Spirit, which is supposed to allow you to trigger the trap open. I mean, I'm not necessarily knocking it, but there's a lot of concerns here. I mean, they have the proper shape here, but with this being this is supposed to be the PKE from Afterlife, it should be a little bit more worn and tattered. There should be like some tape around the handle, you know, making it look like it's been through the paces, and that Egon obviously heavily modified it, but we don't get that. The trap looks weathered as heck, you know. It looks like it's been through its paces. So, I mean, there are little things like that, but my concern is the wire. We don't even know what kind of batteries these are going to take. and how long said batteries will look. Now here's our trigger for the PKE. I obviously would weather the heck out of this personally. That's just me. The stand for the PKE. I mean, don't give. And here's another thing. I mean, we can see the kind of cheap plastic seams right here.
Yeah,
we see
that's
that
no
on
good.
some of the lightsabers that they've done. Nerd Affiliate says, it very much seems like a movie kit bash, kit bash. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, like, with these kinds of seams right here, it looks a little. I mean, to me, it gives kind of a cheaper look.
Yep.
I mean, the PKE alone, should it look that deep and dark, or should it look more faded, scratched up, maybe have a few gouges here and there? That's what I really think it should look like. That's just my personal opinion. Now, on here, this fake, basically it's like a molded plastic piece that just covers the actual connector. And so I always call that like an air hose connector.
Yeah, that's an air hose connector.
I mean, look how big those wheels are. They're I don't know. It's just the label being weathered looks great. The light is not 100% accurate. Okay, there's supposed to be kind of like a silver or metallic looking washer here. We can see what kind of looks like the black version of that, but that is not exactly accurate. We should see more weathering across the yellow stripes on the lids here. I mean, they made some of it look kind of faded here, but they should have scratches and stuff on there. So, I mean, it's just those little things that kind of stand out.
In the handle, like the back end of the handle, yeah, right there. Isn't this supposed to be like a hole there? You know what I'm saying? Or what looks like a hole?
On Spirit Halloween there is?
Yeah.
On Spirit Halloween ones there are.
Okay, but not like streaming.
Not that I can recall off the bat.
Me either.
But I mean, excuse me, for what you're getting, I mean, I'm not trying to dissuade anyone from getting it. I think there's a lot of value, and I like this here. They gave us the V-hook portion, so you can hook the trap on there. So it's not like the trap is going to pop off. It's going to slide on there because it has to hook on there. I mean, here's something to take into consideration. You see how weathered the side view is here, right?
Oh yeah.
What about the rods?
the rods be weathered more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like the rods.
Oh yes. Yeah.
The knobs.
I mean, personally, you could take some brown ember paint that you can get at like Joann's or Michael's, and you could do some weathering yourself on them. But why does that look all shiny, brand new, and everything else looks like it's been through its paces, like it's been weathered?
That's the I mean, I don't know if it's ever stated or whatever, but the purpose of the rods to me looks like it's supposed to be like a bumper between you tossing it, using it, getting rubbed up on things, right? Does that make sense?
It was never explained specifically canon wise what the side rods were for.
Right.
Okay. Because even in the cartoon, we didn't have the rods, but we had indentations that went on the side of the trap, and we had the dial, which is supposed to be kind of like a manual open if you don't have a pedal connected to it. In the real Ghostbusters, that's pretty much what it was. Hey Dave, and he says they activate GB2 sounds. Yeah, we were just talking about that, but we were talking also about the fact that these rods look brand new.
Super clean rods.
They're nice and shiny, and so are the red. The red has weathering.
Okay.
We got some weathering right there. Okay, so we couldn't weather the silver ones. That just seems out of character.
He just bought those silver ones.
Yeah, I mean, I personally would take some brown ember and rust them up. We got Mike Davis in the chat. We're talking about the HasLab, of course. But I mean, right here, look how thin that wire looks.
Yeah.
Tell me that doesn't look paper thin.
Yeah, right there it does look really thin. Yeah.
So that's my gripe here. And honestly, this glow here, you can tell that's Photoshop.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd have to swap that wire
My
out.
problem is they need to make those lights brighter. They need to make the lights brighter because when they show the demo, when they actually show us the trap being used, or when it's lit up, let me see if I can skip ahead. I mean, they show us how the wings are going to light just like they did in the movie, which is fantastic. That's great. My problem, I have concerns. My concerns are some of the plastic that the HasLab Proton Pack is made with on the inside. Some of it's kind of flimsy. Okay, a few well-directed hits and something could crack. That's my concern because at cons or at events, you get your PKE out, or if you're, because I'm part of a group that does charity events. If we're out, and a lot of times I will hand my PKE for a kid to hold during a picture. I'm going to be worried about that with this. Unless I just leave that at home in my collection and I just still carry my Spirit Halloween PKE that I've had for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I
So,
saw Natty PKE, and I do still wear it.
one of my teammates wears his Maddie everywhere we go when we do events. He's always wearing his Maddie, but he also doesn't hand it to anyone to use for pictures.
No.
That's also another thing. Some people said that they heard people talking about, well, I have the Maddie Trap and PKE. I might put it up for sale so I can get this instead. I've never had the Maddie stuff myself, but I've held it before. That the quality on that stuff is tremendous. But Mattel didn't. They just never went and did what Hasbro did. They never reached the point where they were going to have a proton pack. They just never did. These are all just prototypes too. Yeah, they even said that there will be some changes like the display on the PKE and some of the light patterns might change. They might. There's no guarantee. Hopefully they make these easy to mod like the pack. Well, as far as modding these, I'm having a hard time thinking like how could you mod them? Unless you take out the main circuit board inside a PKE for like certain patterns. But I mean, if you're doing that, you might as well just have a 3D printed PKE, if that's the case, and put your own electronics in there. Dumpman says, "Good job, good job, Dave. They lost 500 backers because of the stream." Hey, I'm just trying to bring out all the facts. I am a Ghostbuster fan. I am a Ghostbuster cosplayer. I'm just throwing out, I have to be the devil's advocate and say, hey, well, this is what I'm thinking.
Well, you should pick it apart. I mean, it's a $300.
Yeah, it's a $300 investment. I mean, even with the Proton Pack, there are people who were having connection issues with the hose.
Yes.
That goes from the wand to the pack.
Yeah,
and
I remember
you can
that
call
now.
you can email HasLab or Hasbro. They will send you one extra wand or one extra hose in case it breaks. And Mike is saying hello to everyone. I'm all in on these. They look fun as hell. I want new wheels on the trap. See? Even Mike says it's the wheels. The hose is shot. Yep. Stand strong. Hold their feet to the fire. But I mean, don't get me wrong. The aesthetics on here look great. The display, when they showed the display here, it looked a little too, I don't know, like maybe it's too large. The dots, the pattern. That's kind of what I was getting here. I mean, it looks plenty bright. If you ask me, it looks plenty bright right there. It looks great. But the pattern looks a little weird. I think, they might need to watch Ghostbusters a few more times.
I would definitely change out that cord on the trap though.
Oh,
it
yeah.
looks like a cheap plastic hose.
Well, my thought was this.
Like a plastic air hose.
Archer says, I love the Han Solo cosplay in the photos. But I mean, it's the PKE looks good. My concern is like they didn't tell us any kind of weight. We don't know how heavy or how light it's going to be.
That's true.
Okay, we don't know what kind of batteries we're going to need. Are we going to be able to use double A's, triple A's? Does it run on a 9 volt? Those little questions we have no idea about. They even have the text here at the bottom says, let me see if I can just enlarge this.
Right. Yeah.
Where it says product not final, subject to change. So we'll see if it changes or not.
Does it come in the yellow case?
No,
I doubt that.
I think so.
Those cases are expensive. They're not going to do that.
That would be awesome if they
throw in a case. Then yeah, I'll sign up for the 300.
I already backed it, but
yeah, I did too.
He's better yet, Dave. Screw Hasbro. Just get the actual prop replica for $1,100, and that will teach Hasbro.
Yep. Yeah, nobody buy this. Everybody throw down.
Do you have $1,100 to lend me? But I mean, again, they show us the this. I mean, I know any like hardcore collectors that get this, they're gonna paint this.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this is supposed to be like a spring thing. This is just molded plastic here. I can see people doing some rust coloring on the spring. You really have to do a little bit more to it.
The sound on the PKE though, it's awesome to finally have.
Yeah. The proper sound, yeah.
Yeah, because my Matty PKE, as much as I still carry it and still love it, it's beep beep beep, right?
But this is definitely Ghostbusters 1 style.
Yes.
You can tell because of the knob here.
Yep.
Because Ghostbusters 2, they had replaced it with like an all silver kind of knob that had like a pattern to it, like a texture on the side of it. So this is easily Ghostbusters 1 style. I mean, it's great that you can remove it, but if it's not going to be something that you're going to wear out to cons, because here they show you, see if I can squeeze back a little bit. Here we go. So they have these pins out of the rods, which is going to kind of key in different sound effects. And of course, they talk about how that little hose connector kind of comes out to reveal the actual connector. Which, believe it or not, I have a few extras of those. The actual connector that they're using, I have a few extras. Because that's what some of us it looked like the Spirit trap, but Walmart was selling it through a company called Imagine, but it had a small little pedal.
Yeah, he has that one.
Yeah, what a lot of us did was we basically cut that wire, we attached the wire to that kind of connector right there that they have, so you could disconnect the hose from the trap. It didn't look screen accurate, and if you ask me, the V-hook right here looks a little low, and I think that's why we got the big wheels, to create a clearance.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
yep. You're right.
I think that's probably where some of that came from. I mean, obviously we have screw holes here and here, so we can do modding to this trap if we want to. So
I know they didn't get into batteries and all that other shit, but
yeah.
Where the fuck where do you put the batteries in this thing?
Language.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, you can swear. I don't care. Well, we're gonna go back to.
Don't say bad words.
Earmuffs. What?
Earmuffs.
Yeah. Tim, say,
okay. So this is what I think is gonna happen. What I'm thinking is. I think there's going to be 4 screws to take this out, and that could be the battery compartment, very much like Spirit.
Spirit style, yeah.
Or
did they show the bottom? Because it looks like there's almost a door on the bottom.
Oh, yeah, no, that looks like the speaker actually, because we can see like a little bit of a grating. So that looks like that could be part of the speaker. Another reason for the high wheels is so you can get sound coming out. I think that's the speaker, but that's also a good guess for battery compartment as well. Because this is my reasoning for that. Is when this disengages, because the main part of the trap slides out. Okay? So, to me, that doesn't make sense that that would be the battery compartment right there, because if with it sliding out, then the battery should fall out. So I'm thinking that the battery is self-contained in the compartment when it slides out. Let me see if I can get a picture. Find a spot when they actually unslot it. No. Don't think they actually show that here. You got pictures like, take a look. This is the actually LED right now. That does not look bright at all.
No.
Okay, it doesn't look bright at all, and if it was me doing it, I would want different color LEDs.
That's I mean, you know.
No, like you have like 2 or 3 different color LEDs to create the actual effect.
Yeah, that's what I did similar. Remember I was telling you about that trap, the last trap I
Yeah.
was working on or whatever. I did that, like added just different color LEDs that just like change, randomly. And I left the
Yeah, so it
in
looked like,
between the trap doors. So like, as the colors change, you can see them change through the trap doors.
yeah, it looks like they didn't show us the cartridge sliding out, which is a shame. But I mean, we can see pictures now. Their tiers. Let's see if I can. Let me go back. We're just gonna go. We're gonna exit out of that. Just go over here. Excuse me. So these are the tiers basically. Okay. Okay. Here we got the PKE. Now here's something that we didn't see. There's a purple light in this picture. There's a purple light at the top of the PKE. That's something they did not show us during the stream.
No, I because man, we literally
I mean,
we watched the 2 minute video, then we watched the very end stuff with the
so
ghost.
if you're like in a dark place, that's gonna look pretty cool actually,
Yes.
especially if it like kind of pulsates like someone's being electrocuted. So that's your taser mode for your PKE, and I like that we have a different pattern here
Yep.
because this pattern actually shows up if anyone's ever played Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. We get that when we zap people.
His blue one does that.
Because it reboots and it takes time to reload and recharge. That's something
Yep.
that they do in the game. Um, it's cool that we have the trigger here. I want personally me. I like something that has some weight to it.
Oh yeah,
You
definitely.
know, I like something that doesn't feel like it's just gonna fall out of my hand like a pencil. I want something that's gonna have some weight to it that feels solid. That's my concern right there. Two, think of your HasLab proton packs. A lot of people, we got those cheap straps that a lot of people got rid of. Because some people wanted to have the Alice frame on.
I have the Alice frame on mine. I have an Alice frame for him. He won't let me do anything.
Okay, so here's some information about the Ghostbusters Plasma Series PKE meter. Scan from the prop, innovative real-life EMF detection mode. Now that's going to be interesting. Does it actually detect electromagnetic fields on some level?
I saw that in the little
Yeah.
breakdown that they did.
A multi-LED display, which is your obviously your overhead display.
Yeah.
We got David White Arcade and Toy Channel. Thank you for popping through. Hello, everyone. How are you doing today?
We are doing good.
We're doing good. We're above ground. It's a good day.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Entertainment-inspired sound effects. Mode slide switch. So that switch I mentioned in the beginning will slide over between different modes. That could be the EMF mode and just regular Ghostbuster mode. You can trigger the wand, the wings, however you like. Low ionized, high ionized, and mute settings. So you can do a mute mode. Taser mode, Spangler upgrade with toggle switch. That's got to be the underbelly switch. And a display stand. Of course, we got our pictures of the trap. I mean, we can see the trap right here. So it slides out. I gotta think that the battery compartment has to be within that cartridge
Yep.
itself.
Okay. All right.
That's the only thing that would make sense, because if this lights up, then the batteries have to be in there. Now you might have some trigger controls within the handle and the frame, but the batteries still have to be on somewhere inside here. That, to me, that makes the most sense. I could be wrong.
All right. So my next question, I guess, would be
42. What?
yeah. No. Okay. So yeah, you turn the trap, on and off with the toggle in movie world or whatever. So like, if you disconnect the trap compartment, like you can't use your toggle anymore. Like, or is that a separate?
Well, on the trap itself, you have the red LED light, and then you have an on and off switch, on
Right.
and off toggle. Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously, to function the trap, that's your power switch basically. Okay. Just like on a Spirit, you have the little black slider, right?
Yep. I changed mine out for a toggle.
Yeah. So I mean, you're still gonna have that, because I mean, you can function the trap without the wire. The wire is only the trigger for the pedal itself. I mean, in the movies, we've never seen them do that. In the cartoon, we've seen it where we see a trap and you can open up a trap with the switch on the side. So I mean, that's still kind of canonized, so to speak. So I mean, yeah, you can still open up the trap if this is not connected to it, because all this is a basic trigger. I mean, on my ghost trap that I have a non-screen accurate pedal. There's no electricity passing through the pedal, basically. Okay, it's just a regular wire. As long as there's power to the trap itself, I hit the trap pedal, and it receives that signal. There's no electricity and no electronics in the trap itself. I don't know how or in the pedal, I should say, but I mean, we'll see what happens. We also got Carlos from T3 Collects saying hello. Yeah, we're going over everything from Hasbro Pulse today, and we're wrapping up with the trap itself. I just think that we need brighter LEDs, and we need a thicker wire. Now, as far as the wire goes, if you're a modder, if you're going to modify it, you could just take some insulation around the wire and get the proper loom hose that goes around it and overlay it.
Oh yeah.
And in the movies, we've even seen red tape around that outside part.
Yep.
So you could cover up the loom and kind of, finish it off with some red tape at either end of the hose. Okay, that would be one way to go about it, but still, it's not going to look fully screen accurate. I mean, this looks fairly okay, but here's the thing. Another misstep that they have here is this wire and the connector on the wire looks friggin' brand new. Once again, you have something that looks like it's fresh off the factory floor, but then the trap is weathered.
Yeah.
That just doesn't make sense to me. Not one bit. So, I mean, those are simple things. I mean, the label is so scratched up that you can't even read anything. I mean, you can buy trap labels online.
That is true.
Movie
Yeah.
signs and so many other ones on Etsy.
Like right now, and there's probably 50 people selling different variations.
Take a look at the trap here. The hinge on the trap looks brand new. That should be weathered. If the pedal itself looks weathered, we got the transistor here. This looks weathered, but we got components here that look brand new. That just, I don't know. It feels off. It really, truly, absolutely feels off. My whole thing is, would this look great in my collection? Yes, it would. A lot of times, though, I mean, I take my HasLab pack out to events that I do all the time. I want to actually get use out of it. If it's just $300 sitting on my shelf that I'm almost never gonna touch, that's where I'm at right now.
Hey, Duffman's got a valid question, because I want to go ghost hunting. So
I got one question. Will the trap actually catch a ghost? If that ghost is your fart after some chili, possibly. Is it a portable containment unit? No, you'll not be able to actually contain actual apparitions in there.
Well, then I'm not buying it.
It's full disclaimer, I mean, it's great looking prop, but with a few collectors in our community, a couple things I've been told and I've been asked is, hey, can you live without it? Can you live without it? Yeah, I think I could. I could definitely live without it. I mean, I have a spirit, basically the Imagine Trap. I have that and I love it. It's been put through the paces. It was like a $25 trap that I got at Walmart. I did some extras and did some cosmetic upgrades. Um, Probably maybe another $20 or $40 on top of that. That was it. And that I can take to events. We used it during the pandemic. I made the hose for the trigger really long, like maybe 10 or 12 feet. I think it was 12 or 15 feet actually. And we did it like we would do like some trick or treating events during the pandemic. We would fill it up with candy. We would leave it out there, and kids would come by the trap. I would hit the pedal because I was social distancing, and they could pull the candy out. You know, we did stuff like that. So I mean, you know, $300. I mean that in the PK, unless I just keep the PK on me and don't let any kids hold it or let anyone mess around with it. You know, I mean that's the thing. I'm going to be dropping 320 basically after taxes and everything.
Yep.
Taxes and shipping, roughly close, rounded off to 320. And eventually, when I get it next year, it'll probably be sitting on a shelf somewhere. So that's kind of where I'm at. You know, that's part of my thought right there. Now, the flip side of that coin, Dave, you spend tons of money on all your action figures. They sit on your shelves. True, which is a valid point. But it just there's a lot of iffy things about this. I mean, one drop, and what if it breaks in half? You know, one accidental drop somewhere. It's great for like displays, like at a Comic Con or some kind of fundraising event. But also think of this: if you have it on your front table and kids pick it up, and what if someone breaks something by accident? They pull off one of the rods or one of the connectors of the rods, one of the tabs breaks off permanently. Now you can't use it anymore. So I mean, it's a what if, it's a will they or won't they kind of deal. So, I mean, as some like, okay, Colin, you don't cosplay, right? You don't cosplay at all Ghostbusters. So I
No.
mean, you love Ghostbusters. You're a fan of it. So you're gonna have it in your display somewhere, and you're
Yep.
gonna cherish it. I know some people, they have the Manny collector stuff. They don't take it anywhere. They got the HasLab Proton Pack. They don't take it anywhere. They'll wear Spirit. You know, they'll wear a Spirit Pack, or they'll wear something else that is durable. They know will, you know, go through its paces and survive anything.
I mean,
So
cosplay, it's not out of the question. If I had
yeah.
a pack, I probably would do it. I just don't have a pack right now, so.
Now they talk about some of the features here. Ghostbusters to Ghostbusters 2 aesthetic conversion, the rods.
Mm-hmm.
Ghostbusters 2, and Afterlife modes. So they will give us different sound effects there. Functional diecast wheels for remote deployment. When they say I had someone say, "Oh, we're getting RTV." I was like, "No, remote deployment is like in the movie. You just kind of like scoop the trap, and it slides across the floor on the wheels. That's your remote deployment, okay?" Uh, 9-foot pedal to trap connector. Now it doesn't matter which end you connect to which end. They already said that during the stream. Premium metal finishes, functional trap doors, and rumble motor, which I believe you probably can disable because the rumble motor in the HasLab pack is friggin' annoying.
It
I
is.
don't have that problem anymore because guess what I did?
Took it out.
I took the motor completely out. I was doing some other mods and I was like, you know what? I don't even like the motor. I'll just take the motor out. I still have the motor here. I didn't throw it away or anything, but it's just one of those things. Entertainment inspired sound effects, working multicolored LEDs. Now they say multicolor, so I'm hoping if there's a mode where like it's gonna act like it's capturing a ghost, we'll get different colors through. some purples, some greens, some blues, some yellows, something like that on the inside. I think would be
I think
great.
they need to throw in like a hologram Slimer or something.
If only. If only. Ghost Trap with a removable cartridge, scanned from the prop. That's what we get here. Now, these are stretch goals, which I think is utter crap.
What?
Okay, these are your. We have different stretch goals here. Now, the first one is you get the cards, the ESP cards, right? These and they're branded with Raise a Cult. I know someone who is great at designing cards. I think this is kind of. I mean, what if you're going to give us these kind of cards? Give us the cards Venkman was using in Part 1. Do that. We get like some. I think these are stickers.
They are
Stickers or magnets. Camp Wakanda, which of course is the camp where Ray would eat Stay Puft Marshmallows. So I mean, you get that thing. We get some blueprints here, which I think is okay. They did something similar with the Spangler Proton Pack. You get a you get our original Ghostbusters style patch.
The patch is cool.
Well, let me say this: the patch looks okay. There are Ghostbuster groups on Facebook, and I know William knows this, where you can get patches.
I was smiling.
I mean, it's a lame stretch goal still.
Yep, but yeah, I know,
okay.
You know what I know.
Well, let me show you guys something for a second. Hold on one moment. Yes? I know.
I mean, this should be stuff that just comes with it regardless.
I agree.
You would think, right?
That should just be stuff that's in the box with it, like, Now,
take a look at that patch, but I'm going to show you guys something else here. There are groups where you can get different style patches. This was an Afterlife patch because it has the ribbons and it looks a little weathered, a little yellowed in some spots.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ghost Core. Yes, I have a Back to the Future patch.
That's cool, man.
I mean, there's different patches you can get, and these are made by people, different franchises. I also do have the Hook and Ladder 8s.
That's cool.
Oh, nice.
Patch. So, I mean, Hasbro, you can, these are franchises who do volunteer work. They can come up with better patches than you, Hasbro. That's all I'm saying.
Calgary Ghostbusters, man. I got myself the Ray Stantz screen accurate Ghostbusters 1, and I got him the Peter screen accurate Ghostbusters.
I will say this. When it comes to patches, everyone's got their opinions.
Yep.
Okay? One person might say there's a screen accurate, another person might say there's a screen accurate.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's the Moogly Club on Facebook. I know I know one of the persons involved with it. They do a lot of great charity work, but they're pretty much the place when, like, if someone wants to have a patch made or they have a design, they usually go to them. But it's also there's the Ghostbusters patches and pins and patches group.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one. There's a lot of different groups out there, and they come up with a lot of amazing designs. Now, this is one stretch goal, so we get a supposed Ghostbuster patch. This is more modeled after, I think, Venkman's from Part 1. We get the blueprints, we get some stickers or magnets, and we get the cards. Second stretch goal is we get the holster for the trap. Not for nothing, I have a 3D printed one by the, KL, I can't remember their full name, this KL Ghostbusters, KL something Ghostbusters. They do a lot of 3D printed props. Mm-hmm. I have something similar. Okay, so is this all that big of a stretch goal? No. Not really. Let me add this back. So, I mean, it's not really all that much of a stretch goal. Oh, and we get a Hazard patch with HasLab across with some slime. Okay? Honestly, I would not be surprised in a week or two someone comes up with a better version of a HasLab patch.
Yep, that's true. I do like the trap holster though.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I mean, on Etsy. Okay, let's see here. I put ghost trap holster. Not finding it.
Wait,
here we go.
Yeah.
Here's one. This is who made this one? Not sure. But I mean, this is just an example. This looks leather here, but I've seen people do a 3D printed backing, and they get the V hook component, and usually this is like an elastic part with snaps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this person's selling theirs for 60. I think I got mine for like 20 or 25 at the time. So there are different people you can go through. So is that really that big of a deal? I mean, yes, you can carry it, but you also have to worry about the belt that you're wearing that on.
Yep.
Because the holes, the grooves on there, like right here and here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there are people who have screen accurate belts, and there are larger people like myself who cannot fit a screen accurate belt. So I use the Rothko, the more modern military belts, and I have to have a wider slot, so my belt will go through. So that's going to be an issue too. A bigger person's not going to necessarily be able to use that per se, unless they're wearing the more vintage military pistol belts like they do in Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a big thing of contention right there. Okay? So we get a holster and a patch. Ooh. Big whoop. Now here's something that's not easily found. They actually have a PKE holster, but I like what they did with this holster. They have a strap that goes over the top of it. Now a lot of people have just the holster where it slides in, but they actually put a strap over it. But again, you're going to have the same kind of belt issues. Unless you have a thin belt. Because take a look at the Han Solo type person here.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's a thin kind of a strap. That's not what vintage Ghostbuster strap would be, or even modern military belts. So, again, it's going to be kind of an iffy kind of a thing.
It's like a football belt.
Yeah. But, I mean, take a look at that, though. I mean, that looks pretty off. Yeah. Now, also, the mini puff patch, which people have actually made. People have already made this patch.
I feel like the holsters should just come with them regardless. I don't know.
Well, Colin, that would make sense in a perfect world.
Yeah.
And that's it. We get, a holster with a patch. A holster with a patch. Those are our stretch goals.
Right.
I mean, with the first one, with the Proton Pack, we got Spangler's Journal.
Yeah, I was hoping for some more, like some fun stuff.
We got new decals. Okay, they could have included new decals for the track, but they didn't. They gave us a lot of stuff with the first one, plus the unboxing experience itself.
You got the little guys; those were cool.
The mini puffs.
The mini puffs.
We had a crap ton in the first one.
You got slime. Like,
I mean,
dude,
this is
like, where's the
Why,
slime? There's gonna be slime for the trap.
Well, there is the mini puff, or they had the marshmallow effects that we could put on there, right? But then, if you were a Pulse member and you ordered it within the first 24 or 48 hours, you got the slime ones, the slime effects. There's nothing for Premium Pulse, and they're just tossing this stuff at us. They're coming up drastically short. I'm wondering if they will try to add stuff later as they go on, but
I don't know because they don't.
This is why I'm feeling underwhelmed.
Yeah,
I
see what you're saying.
This is why I feel underwhelmed about it, because it just feels like, well, hey, what's going on here? And here's another thing. They didn't show us the dimensions of these cards.
No,
they could be like playing deck size cards. Okay?
Probably are.
Okay? They did not show us these actual practical cards. Because the ones that Peter hold up, they're pretty large.
They are, yeah.
odds are they're going to give us playing deck size cards. So
that would be my guess.
Honestly, and T3, I get what you're saying that there's 4,090 now there's 43 in just in a matter of minutes. But honestly, I'm on the fence about this. As someone who is a functional cosplayer with Ghostbusters, I mean, like I said before, I like wearing my HasLab pack. I have done permanent modifications to my pack that you cannot undo. Okay? Because I like the look of it. I want it to look as much Afterlife as possible. I have taken the rubber grommets from the original one. They're completely gone. I have actual wires and connectors on there. I'm going to be replacing the rubber transistors with real ones. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff to my stuff. But I mean, with this stuff, I'm worried that if I take the trap out somewhere, it's going to get damaged. If I have it out on, we do displays, we do booths. If I have it out somewhere, someone actually kicks it, or some kid pulls on something and actually breaks it, I'm out $300. It's going to be a dysfunctional piece of crap then. But I also spend money on action figures and collectibles. But here's my thing. I could drop the 320 on the trap and PK right now. It could be something pretty cool. I know that after the stuff came out, what if they make no improvements to it? What if like I get it and I break it 20 minutes afterwards? There's little things like that to take into account. But then Hasbro unveiled some really cool stuff today, like the vamp. I could get me a vamp for 1/3 of the cost of this. And I might get a little bit more enjoyment out of it. I mean, it all depends. I mean, that's the thing. Like they kept saying, and stay tuned because we will be doing updates about the trap and PKE. Well, how often is that going to be?
They
maybe an update in 6
right.
months, maybe. It's like it just feels like they kind of just I don't know, like the wire looks super thin. That's my big concern. Heaven forbid someone has a messy room like I do. What if I'm vacuuming and the wires on the floor, and I accidentally vacuum cleaner grabs it, bam. I have cats. They love to chew on wires. They start chewing on that wire because like my Spengler pack, I have it in its display stand in the lower half of my bookcase. I have the wand hanging up next to it. I have a little hook so the wand hangs up perfectly there, and then the hose. I wrap the hose up, and it's sitting behind the proton pack where nobody can get to it. Okay, I mean there's different things to take into effect. Now, Carlos, since you're talking about the numbers here, did you back it? Did you back the trap and PK? I'm curious. This will back in what did he say? In a few more days. I'm sure it would. A lot of people are thinking it could possibly back, or at least 50% back tonight.
Oh, it's almost at 50 already.
But I mean, take a look at the extras though. See, it just
the extras are very. I was hoping for something fun.
Respectfully, I'm not an elitist. I've never been an elitist. I believe that anyone can dress as a Ghostbuster in whatever gear you want, whether it's canon or not. I've built crossover spirit packs before that are not canon. But I mean, taking a look at this, it just feels like they kind of this whole stream felt like they phoned it in. I mean, let's be honest, Colin, you heard me saying this like, oh, it would be great if they do another Ghostbusters HasLab with the movie coming out next year. Or, what I think would be awesome is if they did goggles, a trap, and a PKE. I mean, if they did that, I would be willing to pay $400. Give us some ecto goggles with some different kind of effects.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
I mean, make that your starter bundle, but they didn't do that. Don't be negative. Be happy it's being made as realistic as possible. I'm not backing because I'm not that into Ghostbusters, but I do think it's pretty awesome. Well, I'm not necessarily being negative. I'm presenting both positive sides of it. Like I say, it looks cool for what it is. But also, on the flip side of that, I could be negative about it and say, well, you know what, I just don't trust, it's just going to sit on my shelf. But I have tons of figures that sit on my shelf too that probably are about the same cost of that. So I'm not necessarily being negative, but I'm also pointing out, trying to be a bit more realistic, at least from my point of view. So I apologize if you think I'm being negative. But I mean,
No,
if you,
like, I mean, I understand where he's coming from for real, but like, I mean, a Star Wars guy, you know what I mean, is going to be critical, like extra critical of a Star Wars
like a
anything.
lightsaber prop or
Oh
something,
yeah.
right?
Right. Like whatever your thing is, like you're going to be
Yeah.
critical of it. Uh, you got to go, don't you, Dave?
Yeah, I got to go in a couple minutes. I just want to wrap up. But I
I
mean,
got
yeah, I get that completely. But I mean, from my perspective, if it's something that you're going to have sitting on your shelf, if all your stuff is stuff that sits on your shelf, then yeah, and you really want it, you missed out on the Manny Collector PKE and the Manny Collector Trap, then yeah, go for it. But if you're someone like me who actually cosplays and likes using his Ghostbuster stuff on the regular, you know, it's a can of worms. There's a
I
lot
mean,
of things that could definitely happen with it.
I think you should be critical when you're spending this amount of money. Like, dude, I was trying to tell you earlier. I was like reading comments on something. Oh, it was
Yeah.
on some McFarlane release earlier, and all these people just like willing to like just throw their money at them, like no matter what it costs.
Yep.
Like, oh, and I'm like, you guys sit here and complain about all the prices and stuff all the time, but you just willingly throw the money at them. Like, this stuff's not worth that
You keep
much.
fueling
Like,
the fire, yeah.
yeah, so like I mean, I
Yeah.
back this because I think it's cool, and I don't have any of this stuff.
Yeah, I
But I
mean,
mean, I can see
I
where
even
you're
I
coming
even told my
from.
teammates today. I said honestly, I'm on the fence about it. I may not do it. I may do it at the last minute. I have to think things through. I'm going to weigh all the pros and cons and see if there's more information. But I think a lot of people jumped on it because like, oh, we're getting a trap, we're getting PKE. I think it's more the enthusiasm, the excitement that gets people, so they're backing it.
And I mean, it is cool.
Yeah, it's there's definitely a cool factor, but I also think that once they start looking at smaller things or they hear people pointing out this or pointing out that, they might start rethinking it. I mean, there are some people I talked to today who are actually wondering whether it will. Now, it's one question if it gets backed, but will it stay backed by the end of the run? We've seen HasLabs that reached certain numbers, but then we've also seen those numbers dwindle down.
That's true.
Okay, we've seen that with some of the Star Wars HasLabs. But we'll just see. We'll see what happens.
I was just hoping for more. I was hoping the tiers would be more fun. That's all I was hoping for.
Like when I saw
could we see the tiers get restructured? We've seen it happen before. We've
Really?
seen stuff. Well, with GI Joe, we've seen stuff get added with some of the past HasLabs. Sky Striker, I think they added a few things towards the end of the run. But the thing is, I mean, I think honestly, this HasLab is going to send a different kind of message out there. Because I've said this with the Proton Pack. That was the first time we had a Ghostbuster HasLab. As fans, we were thirsty for new Ghostbusters merchandise, especially prop stuff, because it was like the early 2000s, I think, when the Manny Collector stuff came out after Ghostbusters the video game emerged.
Yeah,
and I mean, even
2011 was the trap,
if I'm
not mistaken, and then 2013 was the.
So I mean, it's a thing. Like, if someone is thirsty, if they're hungry, if they're really hungry, really thirsty, they don't care what you're handing them. They will take whatever you hand them, right? Same thing's happening here. We didn't think we'd get another HasLab. We're like, wait, we get a wand. Okay, a wand came out. We bought a regular. Now, you guys did a Proton Pack. Wow. So now, well, you get the wand, you got the Proton Pack. Well, now you got to have the PKE and the Ghost Trap, don't you? So it's like, well, we're going to give you this. Oh, by the way, this is what we're giving you as stretch goals. And you're like, oh, I really want the Trap and PKE. It looks movie accurate. Let's say it's 80 or 90% accurate. Let's just say 90 to 95% accurate. You're like, you know what? When am I ever going to get a chance to get another one of these again? That's what it comes down to.
Well, especially at that price. I mean, look at the one on Etsy. That thing was $1,200.
Yeah, but some of those people, like, they put a lot of electronics and stuff, but they will just charge you just for the money.
Then there's that other trap.
If they keep making movies, I think they will keep making HasLabs. I mean, yeah, we have the Ghostbusters movie coming out next spring, and it's going to be, well, depending on the strikes, we'll see what happens.
I'm still working on getting that life-size NECA Slimer. I finally saw one in real life, dude. It's massive. It's so cool.
That's awesome.
If you do, we have to do a video together about it.
Dude, I will definitely get one. I'm just but, I'm trying to find one.
But guys, I have to wrap up because Mrs. Dimension's giving me the evil eye. I said I was only going to do about an hour, and I think we've gone almost 2 hours. So, but yeah, I mean, it just feels as someone who is all into Ghostbusters. I mean, hello, my shirt is Buffalo Ghostbusters. We got the Flintstones Lodge hat, I mean, that's one of my big things is Ghostbusters. So yeah, I'm going to be a little bit more touchy and critical as someone who has a patch collection. I look at this stuff and I'm like, really? I mean, I know several people who design patches on the regular. So I mean, I look at this and I just think that, like, it's tandem to getting stickers.
Yeah.
It's like getting a magnet.
That first tier is complete ridiculous. That's stuff that just comes with.
Yeah.
When you buy something, that's fun stuff they throw in the box for you.
They gave us the schematics for the Proton Pack. They gave us Spangler's journal. They gave us all these different, like the marshmallow effects. They gave us a whole bunch of stuff, and just the mini puffs. It just feels like they phoned this in. They totally phoned this in.
Yeah, dude, they gave us the mini puffs with two.
Yeah, it was the burnt mini puffs with alternate heads.
Yeah.
I mean, the regular mini puffs with the alternate heads are like, it's what, anywhere
they
between
could have did another tier
bucks.
with more different mini puffs. I mean, there was tons of them in the movie.
I would love to see them do some retooling of the stretch goals. I would love to see something like that. Like, I'm trying to think of some stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff they could do, but guys, I want to thank William and Tim for being on here. I want to thank Colin of EC Collecting. And guys, I want you guys, anyone who might still be watching, I want you to go ahead and check out the video description below, because you will see information about a little endeavor, a little charity event that Colin came to me and Dre of the Collector Safe Space on November 18th. We're going to be hosting a live stream, but we're going to be giving away prizes. Let me just remove the screen right there, and let's go and do this right here.
That's super cool, Colin, for real, man.
So it is the school lunch fundraiser. We're asking people to go to frac.org/healthy-school-meals-for-all, donate $10, and take a screenshot of that donation and send it to either Colin at ec.collecting or me at Daves_dimension or Dre at Dre of Collector Safe Space on Instagram. Message that to one of us with your real name, your screen name, and a screenshot, and you're going to be entered into this amazing fundraiser that we're doing. I think we have, 5 or 6 boxes now of prizes that we're giving out. One of them is, I think, 6 Mythic Legions with accessories. Another one is, there's a, what's some of the other ones, Colin?
We got the Ninja Turtle one with the NECA figures.
Yep.
We have the Luke Skywalker hot toy.
Yes, we have a Luke Skywalker hot toy as featured from The Mandalorian.
We have a
so
Marvel,
like a little Grogu. We have a Marvel box.
A Marvel box.
And isn't there a horror box? Or am I mistaken?
I think the horror one is kind of like with the Ninja Turtle one.
Okay, so we have at least 5 prize boxes to be given out. Okay, guys? And we're doing it not elimination style. Person's names get picked. They have to be present in the chat so they can tell us which one of the remaining boxes that they want. And I think the lowest prize box we're giving out retails at about $100. So for 1/10 of that, just $10, I mean, that's like a coffee and a snack at Starbucks right there, guys. So we're asking you to go to the video description below. You'll find all this information right there. And just come and support this. The proceeds of this, frac.org, they basically they help fund lunches for schools for kids, just like Tim right there. They help fund kids lunches. So this is about supporting our future, supporting our kids, whether you have kids or not. You have neighbors who have kids, you have family members, nieces, nephews, grandkids, whatever the case may be. So please, all you have to do is donate $10, take a screenshot, send it to us with your name and your screen name, and you have to be present on the stream November 18th. Colin, do you have anything to add to that?
No. I think you covered it.
Okay. Do you have anything coming up?
Just doing my my toy reviews, and I will have a toy hunt probably dropping Sunday.
Yeah, and I got
that's about it.
A pile of shame here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do another live unboxing too.
I have 2.5 stacks of shame here, with more to come. So, but I want to thank you guys for coming out, hanging out with us, doing a little recap and a little analyzing. You know, it's not out of the realm of possibility that HasLab might retool a few things, maybe restructure. Like, hey, you know what? You know, considering things, well, like, hey, we're going to add this in there, or we're going to add that in there. I mean, there's a lot of things they can still do. Rumor has it that the mini puffs are going to be featured in the next movie as well. They could do a little Slimes variant of the mini puffs. They could have done something like that.
Yeah, they could have done one of the tiers with some more mini puffs. They could give us some different ones.
They could have done like an impaled mini puff, like you got like
a
toothpick or a pencil running through one of them. I mean, there's a lot of different stuff. I mean, they had the little mini puffs in the mini sludge in the little containers.
Oh,
you could have done like a mini puff, like Funko had the mini puff with like a headset on it. I actually have that one up here. I mean, there's a lot of different ones. Like you could have a mini puff with like a little, drink umbrella. I mean, there's a lot of different stuff you can do. So
can I get Puddle mini puff where he's doing the T2 thumbs up?
Yeah, right.
I mean, there's tons of stuff that they could do. This just they're missing the point. So, but guys, I want to thank everyone who's popped through. JJ, T3. I mean, Mr. B, I mean, everyone. We had a lot of people come through. We had Duffman's Diorama. We had Nerd Affiliated. We had Mike Davis. We had, of course,
Rolando,
Multiversal Moderator. And, of course, collecting the Star Wars. We had Steve-O in the chat. We had Renegade Biker come through for first time come through my stream. So I really appreciate him coming through. We had a lot of great people coming through. But, guys, until next time. This is Dave from Dave's Dimension saying keep on busting. And you know what I'm going to say. I will always catch you on the flip side. Take care, guys.
Later, guys.